Plasma beings, life in a different state of matter, a video to fall asleep to, part 1, the fourth state. Good evening, dear listener. You've arrived in stillness, eyes soft, breath slow, thoughts floating like tiny lanterns across a silent lake. Tonight we're going to explore something rarely spoken aloud, something that flickers at the edge of science and wonder. What if life doesn't only come in the forms we know? What if it exists in a different state of matter altogether? We know solids, we know liquids, we know gases, but there is a fourth state, one we see in lightning, in stars, in the northern lights. Plasma. It is alive with energy, charged, vibrating, electric, and some believe, some whisper that life might exist within it, not carbon-based, not flesh and blood, but something different, something light, shifting, awake. Could plasma hold beings that we've never recognized as alive? Could those flickers in the sky, those shapes that shimmer just beyond our vision, be something, watching, not as intruders, not as invaders, as ancient residents of a world made not of matter, but of pure energy? So tonight, let's drift into that thought, not to solve it, not to prove it, but to feel what it would mean. To imagine beings made not of skin and breath, but of flame, color, and song. And to wonder, in a universe this vast, what else might be possible? Part 2, Born of Stars. Welcome back. You're even softer now, breathing steady, mind open, floating gently in thought like dust through sunlight. Tonight we drift deeper into the idea that if plasma beings exist, they may not be from here, not from Earth, not from any solid world at all. They may have been born of stars, because plasma is not rare in the universe. It's not strange. In fact, it's the most common state of matter we know. The sun is made of plasma, so are most stars, so are the glowing clouds between them. If life can emerge in oceans, in soil, in even the smallest drop of water, why not in starlight? Why not in those swirling, charged rivers of cosmic energy that stretch for light years? Maybe, just maybe, some forms of life don't need lungs, don't need blood. Maybe they pulse, maybe they shimmer, maybe they think in waves and patterns we can't yet understand. And if they were born of stars, then they are ancient. They've watched galaxies spin. They've passed through nebulae like we walk through air. And some might have visited our skies, not in ships, but in themselves, appearing as flashes, as dancing lights, as strange weather no one can explain, not to scare us, but to look, to listen, to remember that we are part of something wider. So tonight, as you drift closer to sleep, let yourself imagine what they might be like. Beings of light, woven by stars, watching over a younger world that's just beginning to wonder. Part 3, Signs in the Sky. Welcome back. You're deep now, breath like a breeze, mind like a mirror, reflecting the quiet glow of thought. Let's look up. There have always been stories of lights that danced where they shouldn't, that moved with purpose, then vanished without a trace. Pilots, shepherds, children, they've seen shapes in the sky that defy description or explanation. But what if these weren't ships? What if they weren't machines? What if they were beings, plasma-based life forms, drawn to Earth's magnetic fields, curious, ancient, aware? Some researchers have captured strange phenomena, blobs of glowing light, changing shape, moving against the wind. They aren't solid. They don't behave like drones or birds. They flicker like thought, shift like breath, and some believe these are sky beings, not visitors from far away, but part of a parallel ecology, one we haven't learned to see. They may live in the upper atmosphere, or in places where magnetic fields are strong. They may react to emotion, to consciousness. They may not be watching us at all, but simply coexisting, like fireflies, or whales in a deep invisible ocean. And maybe, just maybe, when you feel watched in the stillness of a summer night, it isn't your imagination, it's a silent being, floating just beyond your reach, made of light, made of wonder. So tonight, let yourself believe in the unseen, not as fear, but as presence, as possibility, as beauty in a form we've only just begun to name. Part 4. A Language of Light. Welcome back. You're quiet now, still balanced between thought and sleep, listening for something you can't quite name. Now let's wonder, how would plasma beings communicate? They don't have mouths, no vocal cords, no eyes to meet, no hands to gesture, but they have light, and they have movement. What if their language isn't spoken, but shown? Color pulses, flashes of rhythm, patterns of vibration that carry meaning like music. Maybe they speak in waves, in warmth, in brightness, not with words, but with feeling. Have you ever looked at the sky and felt something shift inside you, as if a message passed through, too fast to catch, but just slow enough to leave a trace? Some say these beings don't send language like we know it. They tune to consciousness. They feel, they reflect. They share thought like light bouncing between mirrors. And if you're open, if you're still, you might feel something like recognition, a knowing, a welcome, an understanding that doesn't come from memory, but from some deeper place. Because perhaps we don't need to learn their language. Perhaps we already carry it, in the part of us made of spark and soul. So tonight, let yourself glow. Let your breath become rhythm. Let your mind move like light on water. You may not understand what's being said, but you just might feel it. And that might be enough. Part 5. The Light Within. Welcome back, dear listener. This is the final part of our journey tonight. Not an ending, but a quiet unfolding. We've spoken of plasma beings, of star-born life, of messages in color and light. Now let's turn inward, because the most mysterious question of all might be this: what if they are not separate from us? What if we too are made of light? Our bodies feel solid. Yes, but deep down we are atoms. Energy, charge, movement. And what is plasma? But energy in motion. Maybe there is a part of us already fluent in that rhythm. Maybe the glowing beings in the sky aren't strangers, but reminders of what we once were, of what we may become. Perhaps we're not waiting to meet them. Perhaps we're slowly remembering them, through dreams, through art, through moments of stillness like this one, when the mind is quiet and the heart is open. So tonight, as your thoughts drift into sleep, feel the light within you. It doesn't flash, it doesn't burn, it simply glows, steady, soft, timeless. Maybe you're more than skin, more than thought. Maybe you're light, becoming aware of itself. And in that glow, you're already connected to the stars, to the sky, to every being that has ever whispered across the veil. Rest now, bright soul. You are made of light, and the universe knows your name. Good night.